Every year during the fall season, something very special happens. While the air is crisp and cool and the leaves are turning, family traditions are once again being renewed. They're making apple cider at Jackson's. Welcome to Jackson's Orchard. Fruit growing takes many months of hard work, from pruning every tree to constantly checking for healthy tree growth and for pests. After the bees have pollinated each flower, integrated pest management is used to keep the trees healthy. Then, if you get enough rain, sunshine, and cool nights, you'll be blessed with an abundant crop of juicy apples. While at Jackson's, you'll find a multitude of activities taking place. From picking out that perfect pumpkin, to taking a tour of the orchard, or going on an old-fashioned hayride to the pumpkin patch. While Mom and Dad shop for fresh apples, fresh baked bread, jams and jellies, and of course, apple cider. After the apples are picked, they're brought into the apple barn, where every apple gets scrubbed, washed, and sent to the grading line. Each apple is graded both by its color and by its size. Our number 1 grade A apples are bagged up for sale in the apple barn. Apples too small to be considered a grade A apple are sent back to be made into apple cider. So let's go make some apple cider. Our cider apples are stored in a very large refrigerator, also called a walk-in cooler, where the temperature is kept as close to 33 degrees as possible to keep the apples fresh and juicy. Whenever we need to make more apple cider, we take 20 bushels of apples at a time to the cider room. Once in the cider room, the apples are scrubbed and washed a second time. Clean apples come out of the washer and onto an elevator. The elevator lifts the apples up into the grinder, also known as a hammer mill. The apples are ground to a pulp and fed into the cider press, where a series of belts and rollers squeeze the pulp to extract every last drop of sweet apple cider. The cider is filtered several times during this process to remove any pieces of apple that might have made it through the press. Apple cider is pumped into a refrigerated holding tank, then pumped to a pasteurizer. In the pasteurizer, the cider's temperature is raised to 160 degrees for 5 seconds. This process is called flash pasteurization, assuring that the cider is safe to drink while not changing any of its delicious flavor. Once again on the move, the cider is then pumped into a very large refrigerated holding tank, where it is allowed to settle overnight. Meanwhile, cider jugs and caps are gathered, labeled, and brought into the cider filling station. Once the jugs are full, tamper-proof caps are screwed on tightly, and the cider is returned to cold storage. Back in the cider room, all of the leftover apple pulp is cleaned from the press and sent to a spreader outside in order to be returned to the ground as compost. There's one thing you can be sure of. As long as the leaves turn color, the tradition of making apple cider will continue on the hill at Jackson's Orchard. Now let's all go and enjoy some of Jackson's Orchard's sweet apple cider.